Hi, my name is Spencer, and today I will be reacting to Star Trek Prodigy, Season 1, Episode 20. This is the season finale, so I am very excited to get into this. I've really enjoyed the season so far, and it's all led up to this point. Last episode was a part 1, this is part 2, so I am very anxious to see what happens. I'm also very nervous because, I don't know, I don't know if it was an official episode description, but I read something like a description, or like not today, but like in the past week that and in the description it basically said that I don't remember if it was the whole crew of the Protostar or if just a singular member of the crew of the Protostar is going to have to make a sacrifice in order to resolve what's happening here with the living construct. I don't know. I'm very nervous because of that, and I really don't want them to have to make a sacrifice. At least not one that, I don't know. I don't want them to have to give up being a part of Starfleet. I don't want them to have to give up the hope of, I don't know. I don't know. I'm so stressed about this. One of you mentioned in the comments of the last video that you hope it's not going to be sort of a let's go back in time and prevent these events from ever occurring in the first place. And I agree. I'd really rather that not be the case. I feel like that's just lazy writing. And there hasn't been any sort of indication that that's where this would go. So if it did happen in the next 24 minutes of the show, I would be very surprised. So hopefully that's not the case. I have been having issues with my computer in the past couple days. It's been like crashing and giving me the blue screen of death just randomly, and I thought it was because I was doing some programming. We're trying to experimenting with some Game Boy programming, and well, I accidentally I was in Visual Studio Code and I accidentally like hit the debug button, which like compiled the code and maybe tried to run it on Windows instead of, I don't know, like as a Windows program instead of like a Game Boy program. And I thought that was the issue, but then it happened a couple more times after that, and I was like, what? I don't know. I did a virus scan. PC seems fine in terms of that, but I only mention it now because hopefully that won't happen during the reaction. If it does, I'll do my best to manage, and hopefully I can salvage the footage. If not, I'll have to figure something out, but I will do my best to get this recorded and posted as soon as possible. Back to the topic of Star Trek. Like I said, I'm nervous about what they're going to have to do to get out of this situation or to fix this situation, and I worry about Chakotay. I worry that there's no going to get him back from the future, and I would like him to have, I don't know, to be able to come back. But who knows? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, maybe you guys know, since you've probably already seen the episode, and I have not. I've been doing my best to avoid spoilers. I haven't been much on YouTube today, just because I don't want to see a thumbnail spoiler from other YouTubers who post content of Trek stuff. So, doing my best to avoid spoilers. Thankfully, I'm not on a side of TikTok that has any sort of Star Trek fandom, and there hasn't been any posted on Twitter, any spoilers that I've seen posted on Twitter. So I am going into this mostly blind, besides that one episode description that may or may not actually be the episode description. So yeah, I'm excited. I don't know. It's kind of bittersweet when we get to the end of a season. It's just like, like I want to know what happens, but I also don't want it to end quite yet. But I am excited to see, like, to get some resolution to this plot and see what is going to happen next. Hopefully they'll set up for a season 2. I've been doing this, but I'm going to keep checking to see if there's sort of an after credits sort of thing, just to be safe, you know. I don't want to miss anything. But before I get into this, don't forget to like this video if you like it, and if you have anything to say about this episode or the rest of the season, please put it in the comments. I appreciate hearing your thoughts. Also, if you're not currently subscribed but you like this kind of content, I would appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. Even if this is the end of a season, hopefully we will see more of this crew, and hopefully I'll be able to make more content for Prodigy. And I don't think I have anything else to say before just diving into this episode. I'm anxious, and I hope it's good. And if the rest of the season has anything to say, or is any indication to whether this is going to be good, I expect it to be good. So without further ado, I think I'll go ahead and get this episode started. Dang, ship's torn apart. And yet no one is firing at the protostar.
There is one thing we can do.
And that is
to destroy the protostar.
We can't destroy our ship.
It's the only surefire way to stop the long-range.
I mean, I'd be okay if this was the sacrifice they make.
Dankham's correct. Destabilizing the protocore would create a veritable supernova.
Can't you just take the protocore with you?
Unless we destabilize it at the exact moment we proto-jump. The destructive energy release would be spread across space-time.
I know we just got...
An idea, I guess.
Except the protostar's auto-controls are fried.
Someone has to...
Someone will have to stay back to detonate it.
Yeah. Can't you get Janeway to do it? Hologram Janeway to do it?
And that's why you'll make a copy of my program on an isolinear chip and bring me with you. That way, I can be in 2 places at once.
How?
Okay. Seems too good to be true.
All right. Let's get moving. Get Impulse online. If our math's fuzzy, it'd be nice to have a little breathing room.
Okay. So destroying the protostar will in effect destroy the living construct. Will that stop the destruction? Because they're already infected, right? You would think they'd be already infected and it wouldn't, like, I don't know. We'll see.
We've got one shot at this.
With so little time, we left out all comfort for basic...
Will the living construct let this happen?
What about the sea?
We leave in 5. Maybe seat belts?
Forget belts. We'll just go with the hold on to your belt grab handles.
Yeah.
Uploading holo program. Insufficient capacity.
Is everything okay?
She could just say, yep.
Watch out. Now you have 2 of me.
Yeah, she's playing it cool. She knows what she has to do.
What an honor it was to serve alongside you.
Well. She knows what has to be done. Sad, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm not that heartbroken over a hologram, you know? They're still the real Janeway, at least. I'm glad that it's not, like, super awkward after he kissed her. Like, at least, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with them. Maybe they'll talk about it later, but at least they can still be friends for now.
Ready? Go fast.
Explosion? Nice. And it's beautiful. Is that it then? Oh, well, I guess it worked.
Wherever you are, don't give up now.
Just gotta... I mean, did they get away from the battle? Like, how far away from the battle did they go?
Why is Janeway tiny?
Dang, this is sad.
I did what I had to so that you could fulfill your potential. I'm truly proud to have seen how far you've all come. My only regret is not being there when you arrive at the steps of Starfleet Academy. Now, go boldly.
Nice. It's a nice goodbye from her. San Francisco, Starfleet headquarters. A month later, dang.
Because of their sacrifice, we picked up this.
Oh, is Chakotay coming through?
Mayday.
Nice.
The hologram advisor's last act was to duplicate the parameters logged in the original wormhole Captain Chakotay was lost in, thusly creating an interspatial flexure
Nice.
to approximately the same space-time coordinates in an alternate future.
He's alive. And she...
Okay. So he does exist in an alternate future. That's nice. I can get behind this. This works for me. Nice.
Good intentions do not make up for Federation crime.
That's fair.
I cannot say with certainty if all of us would be sitting here right now.
Go get him, Janeway.
Is he genetically engineered? Yes. Was he enhanced in every way? Look at him. Of course not. I should know.
Yeah, he had no control of who he is.
So I ask you, is there a better living embodiment of what our alliance represents?
I don't know. Like, he's less to me he's less of an augment, more of an amalgamation, you know, like if like a bunch of different species like lived on a planet together and then they all had children with each other and it just came together into one thing.
They've dropped all charges.
Nice.
I was able to convince them to permit 5 of you to be taken under my wing as warrant officers in training under my personal command of a ship of my choosing.
Yes! Oh, yeah!
She said 5 of them. Yeah.
But there are 6 of us. Who didn't get in?
Dal, you got in.
What? Me? I don't understand.
Who didn't then?
I won't be joining you.
What?
Why not? What are you gonna do?
Starfleet has offered aid to return Gwyn to her home planet.
Maybe hearing about the greater universe from one of their own will open them to a brighter future.
I like the sound of that.
I like it, but
Malcolm Pog's gonna miss you.
yeah, I don't wanna lose her, you know?
Today, the crew of the Protostar has been given a chance. A chance to discover who they are.
Does Murph not get a uniform?
Xenobiologist? What's that?
It's the study of new life forms.
Improve themselves.
Nice. Okay. Okay, I like that.
Remember when you called me a chump for ever thinking I would get off that rock?
I like that she has her heirloom as part of her uniform.
I know where my homeworld is now.
He's still out there, isn't he? Your father?
Crazy, huh?
Yeah, true.
I don't want you to leave.
I know.
Okay. Okay. I like this.
Maybe we'll see each other again.
We got this far, didn't we?
Cute. Hey, I like it, you know? Good for them. And I love Zero's new look. My only,
Find what you're looking for, Gwen.
I have a concern though, because Essensia's still out there too. So, if anyone's gonna be doing or fighting against Starfleet or the Federation, it's gonna be her. Is this like a Protostar 2.0?
But Starfleet's now approved a new Protostar class.
Nice. What is it called though?
Is that our ship?
Oh, I have a much bigger plan for us.
Oh, what? Okay.
Well, are you coming or not?
What? Is that it? Oh, come on. At least give us a reveal for the ship. For their ship. Dang. Ugh, that was so good. What a solid finale for a solid season. I can't complain, you know? Okay. Whew. Okay, I got pretty much everything I wanted. I don't know about you guys. But, yeah, I really enjoyed that. What can I say to get into this discussion? Or it's not really a discussion because I'm the only one speaking, but you know, I'm glad that I don't know, they sacrificed the Protostar, but the real sacrifice was hologram Janeway. I'm glad that that was the sacrifice that they had to make. It wasn't something like a personal sacrifice. I mean, it was personal to them, obviously. You know, what I'm trying to say is it wasn't like, it doesn't take away from these crew members that we care about, you know? And I'm glad that they get to work under real Janeway. It seems like they're keeping it open for Chakotay to be rescued, which I'm very excited for. I'm guessing that's what's going to happen in the next season. I'm very glad that Dal got a fair chance with Janeway vouching for him, and that they're all under the Starfleet umbrella without having to go through the Academy, which I understand. Like, it wouldn't have been fair for them to just get fast tracked to the Academy when other people who grew up in the Federation dreaming of being in the Academy have to go through this a harder process. But I guess you could argue that what they've been through has been a pretty tough process in itself, and they're pretty, like, I don't know, I feel like they would, I mean, I don't know how much of Starfleet Academy is public knowledge, like some of the stuff, like the Kobayashi Maru, like they've dealt with that. Dal has simulated that for himself many times, trying to figure it out, and they know that there is no real solution. So unless the new Starfleet Academy recruits, or whatever they're called, unless they have prior knowledge that it's a rigged simulation, then they would have had a leg up in that. I don't know. I really liked that just throughout the season you could feel the growth from these characters, and that there was real growth, that they could become these respectable, like, officers, so to speak. I like where we left off with Gwyn, and I don't know. I'm a sucker for romance, so it made me really happy to see them actually like each other, and I'm glad that Gwyn reciprocates the feelings for for Dal. So I'm a sucker. What can I say? It was just really sweet, and I hope that we will get to see Gwyn again in the future, and that we will get to see her homeworld, hopefully, more of that, and hopefully we will get to, I don't know, hopefully Dal and, well, just not necessarily just Dal, because I know that they're sort of a thing now, but just like the whole crew of the Protostar that we've come to know and love. I hope they can keep in contact with Gwyn and stay connected and have each other's backs when it's important. I hope, like, I don't know. My worry is that with like a season 2, they're gonna do something to where Gwyn is going to not do this thing that she's like on a mission to do. I worry that they're going to do something to her planet or to her or to whatever, in order to get her back as a regular crew member. But I hope that's not the case. I hope that they'll keep her on a back burner and like not necessarily like have her just away forever. I would love to have her back. It's just I don't want. It would feel forced if they decided to take her away from that just so that we can have her as a regular character again. So give her some growth on her planet. Give that planet some growth and some like a good first contact that prevents this awful future that they had to deal with, and then hopefully she can take a step away from being this sort of ambassador for the Federation. Also, I liked that they kept it open with her dad being alive in this timeline. Like he exists. He was there when first contact was made. He won't know who she is, but maybe there will be some sort of time connection. You know how like in season 2 of Picard when Guinan, obviously Guinan is physiologically different in a way that caused her to have this time sickness from meeting Picard before they actually meet. So I don't know, maybe there will be that sort of connection with them, and then she can have a better relationship with him. And I don't know. I feel like if that does happen, or if they do end up meeting, he will sort of be cold towards her at first and not really understand maybe that she's from a different timeline. Maybe he will. Maybe it'll be easy for him to come to terms with this progeny that he created. I'm still a little confused about like the whole time travel business. I'm happy with what they're doing with Chakotay, but I don't know. It makes me think of Discovery when they changed the future and Burnham's mom was still there. They said it was a changed future, an alternate future. So I'm what is Chakotay doing there now? Because he was a prisoner in the other future. Is he still a prisoner in this new future, or is he like I don't remember if they said if he was like I'm being held prisoner, or if I don't know. I don't know. I hope I think he said that the Protostar was captured still by the Val Nakat. I hope I'm saying that right. I think that's what he said, was that they were still captured by them. He said it's been this many days since the Protostar and its crew have been captured by the Val Nakat. I'm curious how that's going to work out, if they will, or if Gwyn will be able to make a difference in her planet's development past first contact. I really liked the send-off for hologram Janeway. I thought it was really nice, and I liked that she was able to say a proper goodbye in her little pre-recorded message. And then just like the visual of the protostar's remains just strewn across space. Beautiful. And I liked that they specified that it was like hologram Janeway's last act, basically, was to create this rift an identical rift as the one that was there before, in order to give them a way to Chakotay. But yeah, I really love that the kids are finally at Starfleet and they're finally being a part of it. I love their uniforms. I love that Gwyn's had her heirloom like on her, I don't know what it's called, the shoulder pad things. They're not pads, but like shoulder, you know what I mean. I really liked that design choice. I really liked Zero's new suit, I guess you could call it. I'm curious as to, I mean, we haven't seen any other Medusans as like a part of Starfleet, as far as I know. You can correct me if I'm wrong. So I'm curious if that's just like the treatment they give all Medusans, like that's the same kind of get up that they all get. I didn't see Murph in any uniform. I mean, I might have missed it at the very end there, but I don't think he was. So I don't know. Maybe they're just like, you're better suited to just be naked, just so you can do all your stretching and not be restricted by a uniform. Maybe. I don't know. I think it would have been cute to see him in a little uniform, but it's okay. It's not a complaint of mine. It's just like, oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, Essentia is still out there. So if anyone's going to try, I mean, you would think that, I mean, I know she obviously has a hatred towards the Federation, towards Starfleet. So she wouldn't want her planet to, I don't know. I mean, it didn't really say which side she was on, because, like, I think the reason that their planet was destroyed in the future was because there was a civil war that, like, some people wanted to join the Federation, some people didn't want to join the Federation, and that was why it was happening. And who knows which side she was on? We don't really know, I don't think. You can tell me if you know. I don't. So, I don't know. The future she wants is a not destroyed future. And that's the reason that the mission was to stop Starfleet, to stop the Federation from making first contact with their planet. But, I don't know. And, like, it's... Maybe Essentia could grow to change to be like, maybe we can do it differently. Maybe there's a different way to do it, where the future is avoidable without destroying Starfleet. Maybe. I have a feeling that she could be like a Seska type of character who will just come back at some point and be like, haha, I'm here to exact my revenge and deal with you for once and for all, or whatever. I don't know. I wouldn't hate seeing Essentia again, but I'm curious as to what context that would be. And I'm sure she will... Well, I'm not sure, but I think she would be in sort of opposition to Gwyn trying to be sort of an ambassador to these new ideas of the future and space travel and whatnot, and the Federation. But I think those are all my thoughts for this episode specifically. I would like to talk a little bit about my feelings about the season. I really enjoyed the season. Obviously, part 1 of the season I watched before I was reacting to videos on YouTube, so those aren't on my YouTube channel. I did enjoy that, though. It was a lot of fun. I mean, there were some moments from part 1 where it was just like, oh, these characters are so childish, because they're children, obviously, but like Dal being so selfish about certain things, or just like acting like, oh yeah, I'm the captain, I can do all this stuff. But then like I really liked the growth that he had in the second half of the season, where it was like, like, I'm the captain, so I'll make the sacrifice if I have to. And he really grew in that sense, and he really grew to not be all about himself, which was really nice to see. I liked Rock's story about, I really liked Rock's story in that. Well, it was obviously really sad when she got sort of stuck in like the time dilation episode where she was sort of, they were all trapped in different like times, I guess. Like, it's hard to explain. You know the episode. If you're watching this, you've probably seen that episode. You know what I mean. It was really sad to see her like have to grow up, so to speak, in that time period. And she's still a kid, obviously, but they I'm sure the Brickar, I think that's what they're called. I'm sure that they age differently than humans or Vulcans or Klingons or Tellarites, etc., etc. So it was nice. It was nice to see her like grow up or mature in a way, and then start. I don't know. Just I loved her curiosity in the sciences this season, and like trying to discover like what kind of science she wanted to specialize in, and maybe this one that this other Starfleet officer recommended will be good for her. I don't remember exactly what it was, like xenobiology or something. I'm probably saying that wrong, but maybe this will be the one for her, because she does really well with Murph, and I guess apparently Starfleet has never seen Murph's species evolve in that way or metamorphosize. I mean, I think there's been references, at least I've heard that there's been references to Murph's species, but I think this is the first time the Federation or Starfleet has seen, that we know of, Murph's kind evolve in a way. So, yeah, the point I'm trying to make here is Rock is really has done a good job with Murph, and I hope that it spells a good sign. I hope that's a good sign for this field of study for her. Jankum was kind of annoying at the beginning, but I really loved the explanation for why he always refers to himself in the third person. They didn't really say like how long he was out of the stasis on his ship with that robot that kept making him repeat his name. So it might have been a long time. So that's probably why he still refers to himself in the third person. And I just love that explanation. It was just really funny. I was like, oh, there's an explanation to this? I thought it was just because it was just like a silly kid show thing to do, like, which I guess it is, but I love that they did come up with an explanation for it, it's just fantastic. I really liked seeing Zero learn to not feel bad for who they are, or for what they can't control about themselves, and really feeling or becoming a part of the team, or really like learning to accept themselves as part of the team. I really liked that aspect. I really liked the second half of the season's like all the character growth that we got for all the characters. I am sad about Hologram Janeway, like I said earlier, but she's just a hologram, which I wouldn't say about the Doctor from Voyager. But like, I don't know, there's a real Janeway to help them. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's hard to put into words, you know. Speaking of the Doctor from Voyager, I would love if, like, he was Janeway's personal doctor, you know, like if she just kept him around as a hologram, and they could get Robert Picardo to do the voice. I mean, obviously, she had a doctor on the Dauntless that wasn't him, but who knows what's happening with the EMH, or with that EMH specifically. I'm sure there are EMHs all over Starfleet, and like we know from Voyager that they had like a 2.0 or version 2.0 during like the Dominion War and whatnot. But I don't know, it'd be lovely to have some more Voyager connections with Admiral Janeway. And like what I was going to say is, who knows where this specific, the Doctor EMH is, like, who knows, like, what did they do with him after? I don't remember if there was any sort of explanation or anything like that. I'm sure he still has his mobile emitter, so he can live a life if he really wanted to. Who knows? I'm sure Robert Picardo would love to come back, you know. He was in the Orville for a couple episodes, so if he's willing to get back into the genre with that, then of course I'm sure he would love to come back for this. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm still a little confused as to why Chakotay, a decorated officer and captain, needed hologram Janeway in the first place. Like, you would think they would trust him enough to have the know-how to deal with any situation that would come up during his travels. Although I guess you could say that since the Protostar was a prototype ship, they probably needed her on board to help with that, I guess, to be sort of a guidance for this new ship, this new kind of ship. I don't know. It didn't make sense to me, but like, if we're thinking about it like that, then I guess it does make sense. I can accept that as an explanation, because I don't know, I just can't see why Chakotay, if he being on a regular ship, would need the assistance of a hologram to, because I'm sure he's capable on his own, you know? Yeah, I mean, I loved John Noble in this season. I love the actor in general. Loved him in Fringe. He's fantastic, and I loved having him in this show. I hope we'll get to see him again with Gwyn. I hope, I don't know, I have a lot of sort of hopes and expectations for the future for this show. I would love to have, well, first of all, I would love them to actually save Chakotay. I would love for them to find a way to fix the future for Gwyn's planet. Maybe some episodes dealing with Essentia again. I thought Jamila did a great job with that character, and I would love for her to return. I'm sure if Chakotay and his crew are still imprisoned in the future, I'm sure we haven't seen the last of Dreadnought, especially if one is with Essentia, obviously. So Jimmy Simpson is open to return, I'm assuming. I would love for them to revisit their little origin stories that they told. Like, I would love for Rok to meet the hero in her story and like actually be able to communicate with him. I've said that in the past, but I'm gonna say it again. I would love for an episode for that, for that to be an episode in the future. It'd be lovely. And then I would love to reconnect with Jankum's crew that he saved. Jankum's sleeping crew, that is. I would love for Zero to reconnect with their collective, I guess you could say. I would love for that to be an episode. We didn't get a Murph story, but it'd be nice to maybe get some more Murph. Murph is fun. Like I said, I would love to see more Gwen doing what she's doing, and possibly joining the crew for some missions. Maybe after, and like I said, maybe after having dealt with her planet, rejoining this crew as a regular. I'd be cool with that. As long as it's not like rushed or forced in any way. As long as it makes sense, you know. I'm excited to see the crew get to know the real Janeway, and in a way they have already. They know about her. They've gotten to know her. But I'm curious to see if it'll be different at all. I'm sure it'll be mostly the same though, and I am excited for that. But I think those are all my thoughts. I really loved this season. Honestly, I don't remember how I felt about season 1 of Lower Decks, but this is definitely up there in terms of top first seasons for New Trek. Just, I don't know, they did a fantastic job of pacing everything. There were like a couple times where I felt like, you know, like I want more. I want this to go quicker so I can. I want to know what happens, you know. But I think that was mostly because it was a weekly release, and so that made it tough on me personally. If it hadn't been, and I could just like watch them. If I was watching it casually and being able to like binge it, then it would be like then I would have in that idea, in that situation, I feel this was very well paced for a season. I really liked the episode count. Like, I know they're short episodes, but still, like 20 episodes is pretty respectable for a TV show nowadays. So I was very glad that we were able to get enough. You know, it felt like enough when sometimes it doesn't feel like enough, you know? Like some aspects of some of the other newer Trek shows like Picard feel a bit rushed because they have a limited episode count. And maybe that's due to their episode length as well, but still, I mean, they did a great job here, and I really appreciate it. I don't know. This show has had a lot of really good feel-good moments, you know? Like a lot of, I mean, like there's maybe a couple things that were a bit cheesy. I can't think of anything specifically. But like, it's a kid's show. I can't expect it to live up to like an adult TV show standard. However, I would 5,000% recommend this to any adult who loves Star Trek, because it was just fantastic all the way through. Very much enjoyed it. Even the filler episodes, or the episodes that felt like filler. Yeah, I mean, just, I don't know. I thought this episode specifically was a great conclusion, a great bookend for the season. It didn't feel rushed to me, because we got most of the drama and stuff out of the way last episode in part 1. So this being a part 2, it made more sense to me for it to be like, okay, here's a solution, let's do it. They do it. They get to Starfleet. They deal with whether or not they're allowed to join, and set up for future adventures. And I thought it was really well done. Maybe you don't agree with me, but as for me, I really enjoyed this season. Really enjoyed this last episode. Thought it was amazing, fantastic. So many words I could use, and I really am looking forward to season 2 and onward. I hope we get a lot more. And I'm really looking forward to it. But let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Let me know what you guys thought about the season as a whole. What did you think? Do you think this was a good final episode for the season? How do you feel about what they're setting up for the future? And what do you think? What are your theories about what's going to happen going forward with this crew and these characters that we've come to care about? I'm really looking forward to hearing your guys' thoughts or reading your guys' thoughts in the comments. But those are all my thoughts. I believe I don't want to ramble on for too much longer, but I will, before I conclude the video, I will say thank you for watching this along with me, enjoying this show with me this season. Really, I say this show like it's the end of the show, but it's not. And I hope that you guys will stick around for other reactions, and especially for my reactions to season 2, hopefully when that comes out. So hopefully I will see you guys next time.